Hello and what is going on today, guys? Tomcat here, and today we are back in SpinTires MudRunner, and we are going to be taking a look at Frog's 80 Series Land Cruiser. Now, the FJ80 is one of my personal favorite Land Cruisers, and I really like the body style. I really like the fact that it was just a really rugged rig, and possibly that opinion is also probably a little bit due to the fact that back when I was a little kid, my parents had one. So it's a really cool rig, and I remember kind of growing up around one of these, and I'm really excited to take this thing for a drive and also bring you guys along with me and see what it's like. Now, as we get this thing fired up, I do want to show you guys that it has two different lift options, lift 1 and lift 2. Now, when you spawn it into the map for the first time, it will look like that, which, I mean, I feel like it's just kind of a byproduct of having this adjustable lift, but lift 2 is just a little bit higher, although for now, I'm going to leave it on lift 1, which, there we go, which it was not wanting to be on lift 1, but for some reason. All right, now let's see what upgrades we can go ahead and throw on this thing. We have the bumper gas can, bumper spare, and Liam's roof rack. We also have a roof spare. So we're going to go ahead and put the roof rack and the roof spare on, and we're going to also do the bumper spare because there's a spot there for it. But there's also a spot there for gas cans if you want to go that route as well. So I'm actually going to go with the double spare because you rarely ever, well, actually, no, you know what? I'm not going to go with the double spare, and I'll tell you why, because we already have another spare on the roof. So we'd have like 3 spare tires at that point. And while that is like, you know, yes, you're being very prepared, that's a little bit excessive. So, with that being said, we're going to fill up everything that we can get our hands on. Oh, we do. Okay, we've already got everything filled up that we can get our hands on. Never mind. We got that Sparko steering wheel in here. Although, we do have a really, actually, not too bad 80 Series dash setup. So, before we head out on the trail, I'm actually going to back up real quick and run it through this little flex obstacle with the pipes on the level 1 setting. And just see what it's like. I just love the look of these rigs, man. They're such good looking rigs. And actually, after doing that, I think I'm going to put it on lift number 2. Just because, I mean, it's not much higher, but it is a, like, it's not that much higher, but it does make a difference. Like, it makes a genuine difference to have it just that little bit higher up off the ground. Now, low 3 is, it's not too fast. It's actually, it's not too slow either. It's a pretty good in-between. High is, I'd call it a brisk pace. It's nothing crazy fast. And then the automatic mode is, wow, okay. So I let off just a little bit, and it went all the way back to first gear. So it's definitely not a fan of lifting off the throttle. I'm going to ease it around the corner just a little bit. And, all right, let's go. Let's see how it does through the mud and high. Well, it's not too bad. It's pretty good. I haven't lifted yet. I'm still flat. Like, this is flat out right now, guys. I am 100% flat out. And, wow. It even stormed through the mud at the end. That's pretty good. Like, that's pretty respectable, actually. Now, is this going to be your crawler rig, your, like, you know, crazy, insane, map-conquering rig? No, this is an overland build at the end of the day. At the end of the day, this is for the guy that wants something that he can drive on the street, drive to the trail, drive on the trail, and then drive back onto the street and drive home. And it really, I think, fulfills that role very well, and it certainly looks the part. It not only does it fulfill that role, but I think it really does look the part. And I really like the fact that you can kind of see the tires, like, just stuff up inside the fender flares when you actually, like, flex the thing out. I think that's a really nice touch. Let's just ease it on up the hill. Not bad. And it's honestly just, like, it's a good-looking rig. I mean, you can't, like, look at this thing and, I mean, I guess if you don't like Land Cruisers, you could look at this thing and say that doesn't look good, but I don't know. I don't understand how anybody could look at this thing and go, yeah, that's ugly. You know, like, I don't know. Maybe it's because I like Land Cruisers, but I just think it's a really good-looking rig, man. I've always loved the look of 80 Series Cruisers. I really have. Let's go ahead and ease it right up there. I mean, just to get a closer look at it, like, especially in the mud here, it just looks like one of those rigs that could just go out there and take on just about whatever it wanted to, you know? like, it looks like it could go out, take on whatever it wanted to, and then just drive back home. You know what I mean? Like, go out, take on anything, drive home, and then go out to dinner. Or, like, you know, take you to work the next morning. It really is a rugged, all-purpose adventure vehicle. A little bit more mud here to deal with, but that's no problem. I literally could probably just throw it up in a high. And, yeah, no, it just goes. Although it's a little bit stuck because I think we basically, like, dug the bottom of the front bumper into a rock, which is probably not the best way to do it. Just to let that be clear in case that wasn't clear enough already. I do like how it's right-hand drive, though. That's a really, really cool touch because, obviously, I mean, there were left-hand drive, like, USDM versions of these, but they also had them throughout the world, and the really cool ones are the JDM diesel ones. The right-hand drive diesel 5-speed manual FJ80s were literally oh my god, like, I would legitimately buy one if, like, someday. Like, that would be like such a cool rig to have someday. I would love to have a 5-speed diesel FJ80. That would be, in my opinion, one of the coolest imported rigs you could have. If you're talking about importing something for off-road purposes, that would be one of the coolest imported rigs you could possibly get your hands on. And that's including, in my opinion, like, I think that'd be cooler than, like, a Mitsubishi Delica, which, I mean, I think that would even be cooler than a 4-wheel drive Toyota Hiace, which, that will probably, like, I don't know, that, some people might be like, well, I don't know about that there, bud, but, yeah, I don't know, like, a manual diesel 80 series cruiser, that's up there for me, man. That is really far up there for me. And look, it made very short work of that hill. Oh, all the lights work, too. It's a shame we've got a stick stuck in our hood. All right, there it goes. Nope. Ah, didn't have enough speed. Yep, there we go. Just gonna ease it down these rocks on the other side. It's definitely a realistic build. This is something that you would use in a, like, in a realistic fashion. Like, you wouldn't use this to like, you know, bounce around on a racetrack map, like, or you wouldn't use it to necessarily, like, well, you could, I almost said you wouldn't use it to go through truck night, but you could use it to go through truck night. You would go through it, you would just go through it a little bit slower. It could definitely make it through truck night. There are just a couple of sections that I feel like would require a little bit of, like, not necessarily just winching, but creative thinking, because, you know, think about the big, like, lumber sections, for example. Those would require a little bit of creative thinking in this thing, and you might be able to get through them without a winch. Like, that would be an interesting challenge, and I think we could have some real fun with that if we took this thing to truck night, because I think, like I said, it would really, like, force me to think about my line. But I think also, too, like, when you talk about vehicles like this, I'm gonna take it out here. I took the Patrol out here when I brought it here. I'm gonna take this thing out here, too. God, it's just such a cool-looking rig, man. Like, there's really nothing about this rig that I can look at and say, nah, I don't like that. You know, like, there's nothing that I can look at in regards to this rig and go, yeah, that's not really my thing. Because really, like, I like all of it. I literally like everything that he did with this rig. I just don't know if I have big enough tires to make it through this rock field. I might. Come on, easy. I think my diff is caught on something. Yep. God, what a rig. What a cool rig. I can't say enough good things about it, man. What a cool rig. This is one of those rigs that you just want to take it out into the wilderness and just take pictures of it. And I know that might sound a little bit weird, but there are some rigs in MudRunner where one of my favorite things to do with them is just literally take them out and take pictures of them. And, like, I don't know if that's something that a lot of you guys do. I don't know if that's something that you guys are like, I don't know about that. That's a little weird. But maybe, you know, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But man, this thing certainly applies to it because it's such a good looking rig. I don't know. I can't get enough of the setup and you know, with the KCs, the bumper, just everything about it looks so right. And you really can't say enough about a rig that just looks that right, you know? And then you can throw it in high and just bomb through whatever you want because it's got great grip in the mud. I mean, it's really, like, just such a great all-rounder. And then, like I said earlier, you can take it home, just park it up, and then, you know, shut her down, get out, and just go in and relax, have a, you know, have like a quick zesty drink, and then relax and watch a movie or something, and then come back out, and then get back in the rig, and then do the same thing the next day. But if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to click that like button. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Talk to y'all later.